Welcome, watchers. This is episode 2, session 3 of the Hathaway crew. This episode is the return, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in the crew. Welcome back, crew. You are unmuted.
Captain's log. Stardate 8046.2. We departed M1733 3 weeks ago and are now en route to Sigma Iotia II. 19 years ago, it took the Enterprise a year to get out this far. Thanks to the Hathaway's new engines, we'll make it there after only a month of travel. No wonder Starfleet hasn't bothered to return until now. We'll arrive in a few days, and I'm curious to see what has become of this planet. The records of the Enterprise's mission read like a bad holonovel, yet somehow Kirk managed to unite the Iotians under a leader named Bella Ockmix. My orders are to resume relations with Sigma Iotia II and ascertain the cut that Kirk negotiated for the Federation. I'm not sure exactly what that means, and it doesn't seem like anyone at the Admiralty does either. Now that technology has brought the Iotians closer to the core of the Federation, Starfleet is anxious to establish more regular communication. What happened on Sigma Iotia II is a textbook case of cultural contamination. I can only hope that the Enterprise's crew wasn't so careless 19 years ago. The month of travel has given me the opportunity to spend more time with this crew. I'm proud of how they performed at Nalandran, and I'm excited to see how we do so far away from the Federation. End log.
Good job, Captain. So, crew, as you can tell, we are making our first connection with TOS. We are revisiting the Iotians, aka a piece of the action. So before we arrive at your destination, let's talk about what the crew has done in their transit. So who wants to RP or inform the rest of the crew what they've been doing? Everybody talk at once.
Well, the Admiralty wasn't exactly happy about how we handled things on Nalandran, so I've been smoothing over the aftermath of that, and have really enjoyed watching this crew excel in their day-to-day jobs of just taking care of this ship and its crew and making sure that it functions at the peak performance.
Oh, peak performance. The reference. Good job.
Oh, that's totally accidental.
How about the XO? How are you feeling after your accidental knockout?
I'm feeling like I let the crew down a little bit. Sorry. There's this tiny alien running around behind me. Just
Well, I can see the impact from your knockout has been a little bit more longer than we thought.
That happens. But unfortunately, I've had to take some... How about we move on to the engineer, and the XO comes back in a second.
Engineer, what have we been doing?
Grok has been busy upgrading our data network. Response times are down, computer access is up, and the AI is a little less grumpy.
Which sounds impressive from a guy that's generally very grumpy most of the time.
It's a gift.
So you're messing with the ODN network, I take.
Yes.
Good. How about our ops officers?
Doesn't the N in network stand for, or the N in ODN stand for network?
Are you being Are you messing with me semantically?
I'm just pointing out that you said by saying ODN network, it's like saying ATM machine. It's redundant.
So the ops officer passes out, accidentally hits his head.
The ops officer has been working at making sure he's completely familiarized with all of the sensors and other systems that he uses so that we can scan things more efficiently than we did last time.
Have we been playing in the spear when the XO wasn't looking?
Maybe.
No comment.
I have no idea where those Mardi Gras beads came from.
Mardi Gras
Oh my
beads.
gosh.
Haven't I talked to you about accessorizing the spear? No bumper stickers, no fuzzy dice, no Mardi Gras beats.
Oh, my fuzzy dice.
Aw.
I hope the commander didn't see the mustard stain.
Oh.
Commander did see the mustard stain.
Oh crap.
But
Well-
he maybe was, I don't know, might have been hallucinating. I mean, he did get a pretty heavy blow to the head.
Little pastrami and rye while you're working on stuff?
Yeah, when I was upgrading the console, remember?
Nice.
That console. It's a sore spot in my pride.
Did it leave any scars when it exploded in your face?
I don't know. I haven't really looked into my face yet.
Not a
feel
single
like-
mirror aboard the Hathaway,
Wouldn't-
damn it.
Wouldn't Dr. Xhad be very good at removing any scars that might have appeared?
Yes. The thing is, it gives the character gives his appearance flavor.
Yeah, chicks dig scars.
What's our weapons officer been doing?
A little of this, a little of that, little playing with the sensors, little adding some more sensor points in those pesky little dark spots. Security drills.
Ooh, security drills, internal or external?
Yes.
Yes. Cool.
Yes. Working on composing a new song with my friend from the academy. So we've been trading music files back and forth to get that down, and generally avoiding any kind of meeting that the captain's at.
Yeah, you've been notably absent. I should probably have a conversation about that.
Grok walks
Yes.
by, humming the
Sorry,
theme to the
sorry,
love
ma'am.
boat.
Providing security to the ship is a 24-hour-a-day job.
So is commanding this ship, and I still had time to teach Koloth to roll over.
Aw.
How's he doing?
He's doing great. His cold is all better. I no longer have targ snot all over my quarters, and now I'm working on training him.
You want to hear something funny?
Do I?
Maybe.
Koloth gave his cold to the doc.
I had no idea. That's a resilient cold.
No, I seem to have come down with some kind of Andorian flu, a new strain. So past few weeks, I've been working on a vaccine for it.
So the doctor's been working on healing herself, it seems.
Physician, heal thyself.
Are any of the other Andorian crew members affected?
None have reported. So I've been pretty much keeping myself in quarantine until I've been out of the contagious stage.
Have you considered that you might have gotten this from the candy doctor?
Not from the candy, but it's very plausible that our new recent friends may have given me a little something. That's one of the things that I'm looking into.
Biological warfare. I didn't think of that.
That's why it was such an abrupt ending to the meeting.
We should probably talk about biological warfare too, and how it's not a good idea.
Aw.
And against everything the Federation and Starfleet stands for? Come on, people.
Then why do we have technology where we can make that stuff from? like mutagenic gels and that kind of stuff.
Because
Biomimetic gels.
it can be used to help people too, and that is why biomimetic gel is a highly controlled substance.
Do we know that, Doctor?
Yes.
Can we use biomimetic gel for other things than just making weapons?
No, you may not.
Oh well.
I mean, if it could only be used for making weapons, then we wouldn't have any on board.
Interesting. I write that down.
Uh-oh.
He
Feed
hasn't
the
spent it right
beast.
yet, has he?
Feed the beast. Write that down. Okay. So, sounds like everybody's been keeping themselves occupied. So, is there anything you guys want to do in your last couple days of transit?
I want to find Grok.
Okay.
What time is it? Is it after hours?
Well, right now you can choose the time it is because I haven't set a stage of time right now.
Okay. Once again, it is end of shift. Most of the crew has gone to bed. Grok has snuck into the mess hall once again, locked the door.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Hold on.
You got something?
I got something.
Is there a disco ball involved?
I got something. I'm trying to find a better picture so it's not as grainy, but I got a lounge.
That's awesome.
So the back, we'll say the
Nice.
back room in the back here is the actual like little bit of like a hollow lounge type thing. It's small because it's really new. So let's get you in there, or you can put yourself in there.
Alrighty. Gotta grab my name. All right, there I am.
There you go. So he's in the back doing his thing. Is anybody in the lounge just chilling in the lounge? Or are you all
Ideally,
racked out?
he'd only be in here late at night.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just interested in talking to Grok because I've noticed how well the computers are working in the last couple of weeks, and I've also wanted to talk to him about the shuttle because I'm not a fan of having that extra console in there. I'm kind of like an old school kind of guy. If I cannot fly the mission, then what is it worth? We don't need to have a backup. God, it sounds like a horrible person.
It's
Grok
mine.
has also he's been working hard and hiding. Well, I don't know hiding, but the crew has not seen much of him at all over the past 3 weeks. He's been in a Jeffries tube or somewhere. Yet every morning there's a report on the captain's desk. No one knows how it gets there.
Yeah, I wanted to go find the gentleman because I also wanted to talk to him about who's going to scrub that mustard stain out of my seat in my shuttle. So I queried a computer and found that he is in this lovely little lounge here by himself. And the door's locked. So I will override the computer. The door lock. Do I have
Okay.
to roll for that?
So, because Grok is the engineer and he particularly does not want somebody in here, you're gonna, even though normally your XO's abilities would be able to override that thing, he's got like a little jumper in there that's kind of stopping from happening. So let's see if we can get you a roll in here, and
Sure.
let's do. It's nothing ridiculous, but it's just not normal. Hey, XO, I get to open this. So give me one success, and it's going to be your. Let me bring up a sheet here real quick. It's going to be your reason with your engineering. You only need one success. So you get you some momentum going. There's your one success. The door takes
Use the best of my qualities.
So you fumble with it a little bit, not a whole bunch. I mean, you're a pilot, but you're still Starfleet trained, and you get it to unlock. It's not real. It's not. It's not a little clear. Just push a couple buttons. You had to short a couple things together, and you were successful. But the panel may need to be looked at later on. But the door opens.
Do I hear the door open?
Yes, because the space you're in is basic. You set up the space to alert you if somebody walks in here.
I go to meet him at the pass.
I walk in. Grok, are you in here?
Commander Tretner, what are you doing here? His voice cracked.
Well, Commander Grok, I've been trying to find you for the last couple days. I've been meaning to talk to you about this sphere. And also, people have not been seeing you around for a while, and we've been a bit worried about you. Also, that mustard stain doesn't clean itself in my shop.
I thought that one of my engineers were supposed to clean up the stain. Okay, I'll take care of it personally. Anything else? Can I? He starts walking back towards the door, trying to usher you back out.
And I'm not moving. I'm like, Grok, what are you doing in here?
It's private.
It's okay that it's private, but you've locked yourself in this room for a long time. We haven't seen you in a long time. We don't know how the ship is running because nobody sees you, but somehow it's still running.
I'm only in here my off hours. I still do all my work. I do everything I'm supposed to do, and I make sure that everything is under control. But when it's my time, it's my time.
Well, I certainly understand that, but you can't just commandeer this space. The rest of the crew also might want to use the lounge.
I understand, but this is the only facility capable of what I need.
All right, Grok, I know you said it's private, but kind of don't want to go there, but do we have to be concerned about the safety of the ship?
No, you don't have to be concerned about the safety of the ship.
Are you having a secret ABBA dance off in the back there, or what is going on?
If I show you, promise not to tell anyone.
Since I am the second in command of this ship, as long as it's not interfering with the way the ship is run and with your performance as chief engineer, then yes, I promise.
All right. He leads Tretner back to the back area.
What do I see?
Before he opens the door, he stands in front of you. He looks up at you because, you're tall. And he says, please, no one must know what you're about to see.
I promise. I'm actually very curious of what's going on.
He opens the door, and beyond is a landscape of rainbows, and there's a unicorn running by. There's like this there's a stream, but it's like chocolate, and there's like these like giant candied gumdrop mushroom type things like sprouting all over the place. And he says, this is for my kid. I make hollow stories, and this is the only hollows facility we have on the ship.
Well, this is certainly hell of a program. You want to tell me a little bit more about that?
Well, ever since my daughter was a little girl, I've been creating these hollow novels, and I've never sent them to her. I mean, she's like 47 now, but I've never sent them to her. But every day I unwind by coming into the hollow area and creating a new story for her. I've got like 6,000 of them. This is just the newest one I'm working on.
Well,
I call it Unicornucopia. Thanks, Cap.
Wow. I admire the effort you put into creating this for your kid. It's just, is there really no other facility where you could work on this hollow novel? I mean, don't we have a dedicated hollow suite somewhere on this ship?
We don't. A few years ago, Starfleet, in the aftermath of the Klingon War, they discontinued using holotech and only have recently started allowing us to put it back in. And this is the only area on the ship that's commissioned for it. So, yeah, sorry.
So, as you're informed, or you're basically know that holotechnology was not as good as it is obviously in TNG, and is very power consuming. So the rooms are small. The holodeck, or what the hollow usage rooms, are really small compared to TNG area, and because that your ship is not a real big ship. I mean, it's not. It's only a class 4, so it doesn't have a large crew. So they didn't specialize in holodecks. Just
it's
because.
Also why he had to upgrade the data network is because it wasn't giving him the oomph he needed to get his work, his cornucopia working right.
Yeah, and this isn't the only one. There's a couple crew lounges, and each one has a small one, and he probably uses this one because it's the least used.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. The holodecks on this ship are not big, just because of the power consumption. I mean, this is designed for high speed and science, so crew pleasure is not high on their list.
Random question: do we allow families and children on board this ship?
No.
That's probably good.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we didn't confirm that children and stuff were on until TNG. Even the Enterprise C didn't have any kids aboard.
I mean, the D is essentially just a flying kindergarten, really. So,
what's the terminology they use? The Warp Hilton.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Grok, I'll keep this to myself and just make sure that you show a little bit more of yourself to the crew. I mean, hang out with people. We're a crew. We work together. Doing this all the time is admirable, but you have to build a rapport with your crew, remember?
Yes, sir. I just find it very relaxing being able to, create and just let my imagination go at the end of the day,
I certainly do. Well, speaking of distractions, and I guess I'm going to go back to the shuttle and take her out for a little spin with the mustard smell.
I'll get that mustard stain cleaned up first thing in the morning, sir.
Thanks, Grok. All right, you have a wonderful evening, and good luck with those unicorns.
Thank you, Commander.
Just a side note, XO, you're still at high speed warp, so taking that shuttle out maybe
then
a
I
little
just go to the
difficult.
shuttle and cry because I want to go out.
So,
and because you love unicorns just so much.
So much.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Anybody else got anything before we fast forward to the arrival?
That's a hard one to follow.
I would like to brief the crew on, or have someone prepare a briefing on gangster culture of the 1920s and replicate us some clothes so that we will fit in with our fancy suits and flapper dresses when we get to the planet.
Okay, so you're going to prepare clothing for the last reported era the Iotians lived in. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Sweet. Okay, so if nobody else has anything to RP on, we are going to go ahead and roll forward to your arrival. Okay. So as we transit through the transit, you start getting to the point where your long range sensors are starting to scan into the area that the Iotians star system resides. And you start picking up orbital bodies around the Iotian planet. Orbital bodies to the point that as you
Like satellites?
Yeah, at this range you can't really tell yet. It's just something is orbiting the planet.
Mr. Tral, can you please do? Can we do a sensor sweep, or
Sure
can we
can.
do a more targeted sensor sweep at this distance? Because I
Sure.
would like to do that, and I think we should do that from the bridge.
Good
We'll transition to the bridge. Okay, so there we go. Everybody's in their spot. Is everybody not on the bridge currently? So everybody's on their appropriate locations?
I look good.
Okay. So,
I always look good.
It's the spots.
so Ops, what I want you to do is we're going to go ahead and do a scan. We're going to do a concentrated scan. So basically what you're doing is instead of doing like a large area sweep, you're going to go ahead and reconfigure the sensors to do a deep scan in a specific location. So what I want you to do is I want you to roll for your character. I want it to be, sorry, disconnect that so I can bring a character sheet up permanently. I want you to go ahead and do a reason science roll, and the ship is going to assist with a sensors science. And we're looking for just 2 successes. I mean, it's a decent range still, but it's not difficult.
All right, and I'll use my focus on sensors.
Yes. Nice. Holy
Wow.
shnikes.
Damn.
Somebody
And-
has been
Scanned the crap
studying.
out of that.
Yeah, you did.
So let's
Make it rain momentum.
you guys pull 4 momentum. So, because you were so successful, here's what comes back in the sensors. You are picking up what appears to be a large or medium, by what Federation would consider a medium-sized space station. And there are at least 2 spaceships around it. Their size returns it's pretty small. They're not real big, but there is a space station and spaceships orbiting the planet currently.
That's it. Can I get Admiral Kirk?
Whoopsie.
Can I call Admiral Kirk?
You can attempt to contact Admiral Kirk. Let's see how persuasive you are. So the first thing you're going to do
Okay.
is you're going to establish a connection with Starfleet. At this distance, we can say attempting to contact Starfleet directly should be real time.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and roll a. So who's going to establish? Who are you ordering to establish this connection?
What are you going to have them roll?
Oh, well, it's a comms connection.
It's a what connection? Sorry.
It's going to be communications.
Okay, that's not. So what attributes and disciplines?
Oh, you're trying to dig on me. It's just going to be a control and a control science.
Okay, Mr. Tral, that's you. Mr. Tral.
Yes, Captain.
And it's just going to be one success, and the ship's going to support with comms and science. Okay, so add one more momentum.
No help from the ship, but we got it.
And on your screen appears a just like a watch officer, like a lieutenant commander, watch officer. Yes, Captain. What can I do for you?
Yes, can you please put me through to Admiral Kirk? I need to speak to him urgently about his previous mission to Sigma Iotia II.
Let me look something up, and he starts hitting up the console and starts pulling stuff up. Captain, I see that you were briefed as to the last meeting. Is there any particular reason you want to talk to him directly?
Yes, there's been some new developments.
Well, let me see where he is. And you basically get the please stand by in the big screen as he jumps to make a connection.
Turbolift music.
And after a few moments, you get him back on the screen. At this time, Captain, Admiral is currently in a ambassadorial meeting and is unavailable. Is there anything particularly I can pass to him on his first availability?
Yeah, I got one word for him. Translator.
And he looks at the briefing, and you just see his eyes just kind of drop down in his head. I will inform him, as well as I will brief the captain when I get relieved in the morning. Because back at Earth, it's Earth time. It's pretty late.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you, Commander.
Yes, Captain. Be safe in your travels. And screen cuts out, and you go back to your star screen as you transit.
Yep.
So time goes on a little bit more, and you start getting a lot more specific stuff. Yeah, you're not getting a Shatner voice, people. No. No. No.
Shatner voices can be fun.
No. I see your chat over there. You ain't getting no. Okay. So as you get closer, the space station is not small. It is. You could basically dock up next to it. Maybe not inside of it. But what you do also pick up is it is not currently completed. It's about 2/3 completed, but it is a legitimate size space station. Closer to almost to a shipyard size space station, to the point that they could build ships out of it. Okay. So is there anything else you want to prepare or scan for before you actually arrive? And this is basically us trying to set you up some kind of advantage that you think you could use. And I'll give you a chance to discuss amongst yourselves what kind of advantage you would like to set up if you so choose.
Can we intercept any of their transmissions? See can we get a feeling for how their culture has evolved? Are they still gangsters, or have they moved past that with their technology as well?
Okay. So that would be a scan. Before we do that, is there any advantage? Like you want to prepare anything before your actual arrival? We'll do what you can get out of the scan. So I'm just looking to see if you guys want to set up an advantage. Like, I don't know, be creative. So you know they're mimicking type people. They have a space station and spaceships, and you're arriving in an unknown situation. Is there anything that you would like to prepare? If you guys have played D&D, it's basically I'm preparing this action for this kind of a situation. Same thing here. You're setting up something that if there's a trip that causes a trip that you can take that action to help out.
Should we maybe raise shields?
Not yet, but we should be prepared to raise shields. I don't want to antagonize them. But yeah,
Okay.
we should have shields on standby.
Okay. That works. So your communications as well as your tactical officer are picking up two things coming out of two different things. Your communications officer is picking up reception, but it's encrypted. So he's picking up transmissions. Most of them are encrypted. You are getting television type transmissions, like analog type transmissions where there is straight up like video coming in. Your tactical officer is also picking up low level radars, almost to the point that it's covering space.
They know that we're there or here.
At this distance, you're as the engineer, you would probably determine that you're not sure if it's that strong. It's more about covering their immediate planetary area. You guys are still just at the edge, arriving on the star system. So you're still several AUs out. Your estimations at their power strength, they probably only can do right around the planet.
Are we getting any readings about offensive, defensive capabilities of the station? Other than the radar and the satellites.
Okay, I'll let you roll for this as a tactical officer, but it's going to take 3 successes for you to be able to dig out the difference between standard transmissions and tactical transmissions. And you're going to have to roll a probably a reason, and you're analyzing, so it's still going to be a science. But your specialty in knowing the difference between the transmissions, it'll drop down 1 success. So I'll say it's going to be 2 successes. And the ship's going to support you with sensors, science.
Okay.
Oof. Okay, you can use a momentum if you want, or if you have an ability that allows you to re-roll any of those, you can choose. But you get one re-roll if
let's
you
use a momentum.
Okay, so spend a momentum. Okay, and now you can go ahead and re-roll.
Do you want the ship to re-roll as well?
No, the ship you would have to send a separate one for the ship.
Okay.
So fate doesn't want you to have this. So you can't determine if the transmissions are orbital based or if they're ground based. You do know there is, like I said, is radar / defensive offensive capability, but you can't determine if it's from the station or from the planet.
I do have a question. From the sensor data that we've collected so far, am I able to discern any specific information about the station and the ships and satellites that they have in orbit?
Okay, so at this range, give me one specific question, and I'll give it one free. If you want any more, I'm gonna have to either have you roll it or spend momentum for it.
Okay, so it sounds like they're not very advanced in terms of the radar that they have. How advanced is their station technology? Is it mere quality, or is it International Space Station, or even more advanced than that?
I would say it's above International Space Station, but it's below the mushroom tops that we're used to.
Intriguing.
Mushroom tops.
That's what it looks like, right? I forget their exact. I forget their exact class. I used to know. I'm getting old, but yeah, it's beyond the International Space Station. I mean, they're literally able to build ships on this location, so they have a supply chain going up. Okay.
And then I obviously I'm gonna want to roll then, because I need to know how they're getting materials and ships into orbit.
Okay. So, you're trying to further analyze. You're trying to further analyze the sensor returns that have already been established. So it's going to be for you. It's not going to be a sensors. So for you, it's going to be a reason, and it's going to be engineering. The ship's going to assist with computers engineering because you're not getting new returns. You're analyzing existing ones, and it's going to be 3 successes because you're going to have to really dig into it. And this is more time crunchy. The reason it's 3 successes, trying to get that information out before you arrive, type of thing. Unless you guys want to stop the ship or something like that. I mean, you're still traversing towards the planet.
Go ahead, Captain.
Go ahead and use the momentum.
Thank you. Let's see. My focus is I have manufacturers, transporters, replicators, computers.
Computers? I'll let you use computers. Yep, the ship is using the computers to further analyze existing returns. XO needs to pull a momentum off. Oh, nice. Well, he doesn't have to pull it off because you got 2 back on. So
well done.
So bring it up to 5. So your scans, so your sensors are highly advanced, but they still work off a couple of things. They're looking for heavy metals and things of that nature, are really, large fields of energy. So after digging in a little bit, there's a little bit of background return that after analyzing you discover that there is a space elevator. There's a space elevator that's attaching the space station to the ground. And with your as humans, you are familiar with the use of space elevators.
Who are you calling human?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, as Federation type people with a human history helping establish this, everybody's familiar with a space elevator, right? And that's an actual question.
Intriguing.
Everybody here's Star Trek fans, so I'm pretty sure
Just
everybody.
a question: does the Federation have space elevators? I didn't think we do.
The only one I can remember from Star Trek is from the one Voyager episode.
Well, we're kind of retconning that space elevators were a progression to modern day, or what equivalent Star Trek's modern day stuff.
Okay, cool. That's cool. No, I just want to make sure they don't have more advanced technology than we do. So.
No.
I want to say that the Millennium Gate might have been an introductory step towards that, but then once we had anti-grav and the ability to, impulse engines, it wasn't needed.
Well, yeah, on top of transporters and stuff. So with a space elevator, you can make a couple of assumptions. Number one, they probably aren't up to transporter technology yet, and things of that nature. But yeah, there is a space elevator that's transporting material between the planet and the space station.
Intriguing.
Okay.
Can we attempt to decrypt any of their transmissions?
Interesting. So I'm going to have to extrapolate a little bit. We're going to say since they, quote unquote, you have established contact of their language, which of course is probably not what human is, or I'm sorry, it's not plain English, but at the same time, the TV show had conversion. So we'll say that because you're familiar with their language tables, yes, you can attempt to decrypt it.
Okay.
This one here, You're going to have to pick the person before I give you the stats, because you're basically pulling who do you think would be the best person to decrypt stuff like that.
This one I might actually do myself because I have a focus in xenolinguistics.
Perfect. So you're going to have to use insight because you're dealing with a unknown encryption, an unknown encryption key, and you're going to do science, and your ship is going to use sensors to receive the information, or no, comms. I'm sorry, let's use comms. Ship's going to use comms and science.
XO, can you please roll for the ship?
And we're going to say that it's going to be, it's not too difficult. Let's do 2 successes.
Okay.
I mean, they are using older technology than your ship uses.
What am I rolling for the ship again?
Comms, science.
Come on, ship.
Okay, so again, you can use a momentum
Ship
to
is
roll
always
one,
letting us down.
to roll dice on the captain's side, but you have to accept whatever you roll unless you have something that allows you to re-roll in your character sheet.
I have something that would have helped identifying the space station, but nothing for this specific task.
But
Okay?
we can use momentum, right, to reroll?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I will go ahead and re-roll and use 1 momentum.
Okay, burn a momentum.
Yep.
And re-roll.
And that's still 2 dice, right?
Yes, unless you burn. Well, you got to re-roll the roll you did. So yeah, it's 2 dice.
No.
So, the encryption key they're using is more complicated than you expected, or has an odd key that you didn't expect.
This is embarrassing.
Again, this is not that you wouldn't be able to break it. This is more time crunching because you again are still approaching the planet. So, go ahead.
Do we at least have any images from their television transmissions? Because if they're not gangsters anymore, I don't want to go down there rolling like we're gangsters.
Okay. Yes, there is analog, non-encrypted transmissions. You're able to put it on the screen.
Even if they're not gangsters now, they were 10 years ago, which means they've spent most of their life living in a gangster paradise.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh God. So
How far out are we?
you're probably 3 planets out. So there's 2 more planets, and then the Iotian 2.
Roughly at the speed of light, we're talking maybe a few hours. Okay.
At the speed of light, you're minutes away. I figured as you entered the star system, I'm assuming you dropped down the warp, or I'm sorry, you dropped down the impulse.
No,
Yes.
I meant I'm referring to how up to date the transmissions would be. that
Oh
we're
no,
receiving.
at the speed of light, they're minutes.
Okay.
Because standard electronic transmissions are 0.98 C, so yeah, at like 9 AUs, that's 9 minutes. That's 12, closer to 12 because it's 0.98, so 10 to 11. So yeah, it's only minutes old. So what you see on the screen is they still have their fedora hats and stuff like that. Think about what the television's image is, of course, not as modern as we're used to being.
Nobody's rocking the shoulder pads with the bangs?
No,
and-
no. They still wear clothing that you expect. You can extrapolate that since the cultural exposure that they had was just tech, their day-to-day lives are still gangster-ish appearance, but their cars, their technologies and stuff like that are more modernized. In fact, to the point that some of them are like some of them are almost hover cars. I mean, if you don't remember, just to get the players up to date, they left behind what's called Translator, which we're supposed to say it's basically the equivalent of a updated technological transistor, which is a basis. They even say it's a basis of most of their technologies. So because the TOS era had stuff like anti-grav sleds and things like that, they're starting to progress at those areas and fields up. But it hasn't been long enough for them to get some of the stuff like you have, which is flat screens and warp drives and stuff like that. So they're still breaking down the technology and trying to use applied science to advance the culture. So they've progressed substantially, but they're not at the point where they're running around at warp speed.
Are they still running around carrying weapons?
It's hard to tell. I mean, there's no overt weapons in the images you see. I mean, unless you want the Iosian version of like A-Team or something like that. But for the most part, you don't see any kind of like large, as they called, heaters.
Yeah, so no one's carrying around Thompsons anymore.
No, not on the screens you see.
But they could be carrying concealed phaser weapons, so we should be prepared for that.
Heaters.
Heaters.
Okay,
Captain,
go ahead.
Captain, may I suggest that we alter our approach vector? We don't know exactly what their offensive capabilities are. If they're still similar in culture to what they were before, we should assume that the first technological leaps that we're making were in weaponry. So we should I would suggest we come up from one of the magnetic pole sides, which should mask our approach as much as possible, I guess.
All right, Mr. Etrigan, Mr. Tretner, go ahead and change our course.
Roger that,
Yeah.
Captain.
All right. Do I need to roll anything, or can I just push a button?
No. It's pretty standard. There's no stress. It's like driving a car. So
Beep boop boop.
Awesome.
I am recording that audio later. So you approach. Well, let me see something here. Let me do behind the scenes roll. You know what? I'm feeling old school.
Oh, do I hear dice coming out? Yes, I do.
Yes, I have my bag of dice from my table games. Okay. As far as you can tell, there is no initial reaction to your arrival. Now, remember, because it's a space station, I'm extrapolating that because there is something orbiting in there, you have to go way on a z-axis, way above the planet, on its spin axis, way above it in space, and then come down above it. Because if you do a standard approach, there's odds the space station would see you. So that's what I'm extrapolating. Does that sound right?
How much space junk is there in orbit? Spent satellites and other miscellaneous tech.
Now that you guys are pretty close, you detect there is 2 starships, not starships, spaceships in basically next to the space station. There is satellites. They are synchronous orbit. There's not a whole bunch of them. I mean, it's only been 19 years since the last time they were here, so they don't have 30 or 40 years of space junk up there like we have. So There are several, and for the most part, you can tell from the sensors that they are bounce backs. They are not outward sensors. They're basically just bouncing back transmissions coming up from the planet.
And GPS, GPS and satellite TV, right?
Yeah. I mean, equivalent, yes.
Equivalent.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So, Captain, what do you want to do? And crew?
I think we should proceed. Just go ahead and hail them, announce our arrival, and ask for Bella
Okay.
Ockmix.
So, you...
I think it was Oxmix, or at least I think that's how it was pronounced on the show.
Oxmix, it's a really stupid name.
See, the sensitivity training pays off.
Not even the captain went.
So you open comms, and...
It was one guy in a room by himself, standing in a corner, like just picking at like the veggie tray.
Don't slap Romulans.
Okay, I'll punch
Jesus.
them instead.
Okay. So... go ahead.
This is Starfleet. We fight with our brains, not our fists.
So headbutt.
Headbutt it is.
So, this... his angry face, but that's his token. So
Nice.
you basically get this on the screen. And of course, he's not an angry face here. But that is not Oxmix.
No, it's not.
Nope.
He's got an apple.
Yeah, he's got a MacBook there.
He's pretty impressive.
And a candy dish.
Apple. Apple is intergalactic.
Yeah, I see the candy dish back there.
So, if everybody remembers, this is Krakow. And on the screen he goes, Captain, it's about time you came back. It's only been how long in your world? I don't know. For us, it's been like 15 cycles.
It's been 19 years. Unfortunately, Mr. Krakow, I presume.
That's President Krakow.
President Krakow. I see things have progressed here. I'm sorry it took us so long to get back out here, but we've had problems of our own back at home, and it took a while for our technology to make this trip as quick as it was this time.
Well, since you have left us and we've only been by ourselves, our concerns are generally only for the planet. I have no idea what you're talking about. Are you back for your cut?
Yes. Well, we wanted to possibly renegotiate our cut, and we wanted to establish more regular communications with you.
So you leave us for 15 cycles and you come back for your cut and you want to negotiate with us. This is interesting.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how your society's progressed. We don't know what you have to offer for our cut, and we don't know what we can give you in return.
Well, your cut has been set aside. That was negotiated the previous time you were here.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we're really interested in is getting some more technology. We're kind of getting at our limit of what was left behind before. That person that left it behind, I think it was McCoy. We appreciate he did that for us.
Of course it was.
We do. We really appreciate that he left it behind. As you can see, we've put it to its best use.
I can see that. I'm very impressed with the progress you've made. Unfortunately, he did not leave that behind on purpose. It is against our policy usually to hand over technology like that to societies. Our usual policy is non-interference.
Well, twice you've broken that rule already.
Yeah, the first time that was actually before that rule. It was so long ago that you were visited.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate that you guys have returned. We were not informed that you arrived. Where are you currently located?
We're in orbit above your planet.
Our scout ships have not seen you.
I'm surprised to hear that. We're just in orbit. We just landed. We saw your ships. We saw your space station. Perhaps we'll come into range of them in a few hours.
Ah, so you're not here yet.
No, we are. We are in orbit of your planet, but
Hmm.
I don't know how long the range is on your sensors on your ships.
I can see, or I can track our moon.
Huh.
So, are you closer than our moon?
I don't know. We're in orbit above your planet. We are in a closer orbit than your moon. Yes.
Hmm.
I'm more interested to hear in what your society is like. You are now president. What happened to Mr. Oxmix?
Unfortunately, the technology you left behind has really not increased our medical abilities, and because of this, time has taken him.
My condolences.
And off
What other?
before you, so you see somebody step in to the camera and kind of talk in his ear real quick, and then walk away. And he goes, "Ah, yes, Captain. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize for the interruption."
All that I'd like to know. I've read the report on Captain Kirk's visit here, and I'm interested to know what has changed in the past 19 years. What have you achieved?
Well, you can see that we have achieved space travel, maybe not as in depth as yours. How long did it take you to get here? Out of curiosity, from your home.
Well, not from my home specifically, but from the core of the Federation, it took us a month.
1 month. And on your sensors, you detect that the two spaceships have shifted and they're starting to head in your rough direction.
Okay. And we're still standing by to raise shields if necessary.
Okay.
Roger that.
He goes, I remember coming up to his Kirk's ship. Is there any way that I could maybe come up to your ship?
I'm not sure. I have not been cleared for visitors by the Admiralty, but I can certainly contact Starfleet Command and see if we can meet you on board. But I'd love a tour of the planet down here. I'd love to see your city, your people.
Oh, yes, that we will set up a great reception for you when you arrive.
I'm glad to hear it. Could you also send us an inventory of our cut?
Absolutely. You have we have held up our end of the bargain. I have no problem sending you the inventory. And immediately you automatically start receiving a transmission. It's an older code, but it's not encrypted, and so it's already starting to transmit. And it's a large sizable file, so it takes a few moments.
Okay.
Yes, we have it sitting by here. Will you be using that technology that moves from things from point A to point B? What did you call it? I'm not familiar with it.
I believe you're referring to the transporter.
Ah, yes.
We
Will
might.
you use the transporter to bring up your
might.
cut? Yeah, okay.
I don't know yet. We might also use a shuttle, or we might use a small spacecraft.
Wait. What is a shuttle?
It's a small spacecraft.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, I will prepare your reception. Let us know when you're ready. Feel free to look over your cut.
Yes, I'll have my accountant get right on it.
Excellent, excellent. Is there anything further I can help you with at this moment, Captain? I do have other things I have to do before you arrive.
No, thank you. I do see that your ships in orbit are heading our way now, so that should. I assume that they've now seen us.
Well, we'll debate that when the communication's over. Thank you, Captain. Yes, my shuttles, or I'm sorry, you said shuttles.
He
my
doesn't know
spaceships.
what a shuttle is.
No, that's what I said. My ships are definitely. We just want to see what your ship looks like from the outside. I mean, you have to remember that was many years ago for us, and we never seen the exterior of your ship. We're just curious as to what it looks like.
Certainly.
Okay, good. Anything further, Captain?
No, we will speak to you in a couple of hours.
Okay, and then the transmission cuts out. So I'm going to go ahead and move you guys back to. Move you back to the bridge. Okay. Okay. So, these ships that are that are moving towards you, they are not moving very fast. I mean, they are, imagine our space shuttles, and they're maybe just a iota better than that. So they are moving at what you guys would equivalent or equate. How about words? What you would equate to as low end technology. So I mean, it's going to take them a while to arrive.
Can we take a look at that data file they sent us up? Starfleet is curious to know what exactly our cut consists of.
Okay, so here is what's on your list. Let me get down to. There we go. There is 500,000 metric tons. It's been almost 20 years of various things. Their equivalency. Well, it's not their equivalency. It's equivalent. It's freaking atoms. So iron, gold, silver, a lot of precious metals, platinum, titanium, things
No latinum.
No latinum. No latinum. Okay. There are certain types of oils. Now these oils are different because, well, oils aren't a element. So there are alien oils of some sort that you're not quite sure what it does. They list it with a strange name, but it basically equates to like oils, precious stones, crystals of varying molecular densities, and several that are radioactive. But it's a large list, and again, the things that are elemental are very easy for you to determine. All the stuff that isn't elemental, you are not sure what they are. You're not sure what value they equate to or what their use would be by the Iosians.
All right. Can we go ahead and transmit a copy of this list back to Starfleet Command and see what they want to do about this cut? I believe Kirk's intent originally was to invest the cut back into the people of this planet. And I want to know if they have a plan for how to do that, or if they want to become warlords and take their cut.
Okay. So you transmit the message, and again, even though with your higher speeds, it takes a few moments. And you get a comm return from Federation.
Okay.
Okay. Captain, and this time it's been a little while, so this is a 1-star admiral.
Not Kirk.
Not Kirk. Even though Kirk is a 1, I think he's a 1 or 2-star. He's a lower half, and that's at this time period. I didn't write this character out. I didn't expect you to call for him. So we'll just call him. I'll write it down now. Admiral Layden. So an admiral, his name is Layden, and this is a blue uniform admiral. And Captain, I just got forwarded this list of what I guess I had no idea what's going on with this cut briefing thing. The reason I'm talking to you is because the list you have, we are interested in some of those crystals.
All right.
We would like you to do to receive them, or receive at least a sample of them, and get a deep molecular scan and let us know exactly what it is. Because from the rough idea that we have right here, with their lower technology, they give you like a scan of it, but that's their technology, the oceans. We see some promise in that. So we would like to see what we can come up with our deeper scans.
Okay. This is my understanding is this is our cut of the deal that Admiral Kirk negotiated with the Iotans 19 years ago. My understanding was he wanted to reinvest it back into the planet and its population. Do you have any specific orders on how you would like me to proceed with the rest of the cut outside of the crystals?
It's irrelevant to us. The rest of it is nothing that looks of interest to us. So use your captain's discretion.
All right. That's an awful lot of discretion. Thank you, Admiral Layden.
Okay, and very well, Captain. Thank you. And the message cuts out.
Okay. Mr. Etrigan, what do you think of these ships approaching us?
Can't say I'm a fan, Captain. I'd be real happy if we raised the shields.
Would their sensors be able to detect if we raised shields?
My guess would be no, but that's a guess.
So your sensors are picking them up, not because they have sensors transmitting on you, just because your sensors are able to do modernized radar returns. Your ship is not picking up any transmissions from these things.
Okay, so we should be able to raise shields and they won't even notice.
That's your impression.
Yes, then go ahead and raise shields.
Raising shields, Captain.
Okay, so your shields are up. Good to know.
All right, do we have any suggestions for what to do with the rest of our cuts? Sounds like Starfleet Command is interested in the crystals and none of the rest of it.
Well, the first thing we should do is get a sample on board. So maybe get what's his name back on the screen and ask for a sample to study.
All right, what about the rest of it?
Perhaps use it to purchase more of the crystals or buy more information that we're looking for about the planet.
XO?
I don't have any serious ideas. I'm just thinking of piracy, having a little treasure room with a bunch of booty in it, playing pirate.
Ugh, we're not space pirates.
I like this idea.
I'm asking for realistic, constructive ideas about how to help these people with this fortune that we don't need.
Now I know what next campaign is going to be.
GM,
Piracy.
GM, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have replicator technology?
Yes, it's not as complicated as it is in TNG. It does. It can't do super complex things right now. It can do food. It can do liquids, waters. It can do basic materials that you can later assemble to be more complicated. Go ahead.
Medical supplies as well?
Yes, basic medical supplies. Yes.
Captain, I have an idea. Why don't we accept some of the items that they have, use our replicators to convert it into energy, and then convert the energy into medical supplies and other, hopefully not other technologies that may have a limiting impact on their culture.
It does seem like medicine is the one field where they have not advanced. So long as we don't include any biomimetic gel in the shipment, I think we should be all right. Reading over Kirk's account again, his proposal was actually to put our cut into a planetary treasury and use it to guide the Iotans into a more ethical system. We could just put all of this in. I think we should go ahead and use some of it to give them medical supplies to advance that, and put the rest of it in a trust and hand it off to the Admiralty.
Okay. So, with a idea of what you could do with it, what is your next step?
Our next step is to arrange the time to come down for the reception, and ask in that same arrangement for a sample of the different for a sample of each of the items included in the cut, so that it doesn't look so obvious that we're interested in the crystals.
Okay. So you want to contact Krakow again.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, back over to there it is. Okay. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so Krakow gets back on the screen. This time he has you see him right over there.
That's an ugly mug.
That's Teppo. He was the other boss that they. Okay. And then this guy's back there. Captain.
Yes, President Krakow. We're hoping we could arrange a reception within the next couple of hours. Let us know what would be a good time. And we would also like to see a sample of each of the items included in our cut for my scientist to take a look at.
No problem. I can have that arranged very quickly.
Thank you very much.
And so before the screen cuts off, your sensors report that the ships are within visual range of you, like say 8 or 9 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and the ships are slowing down.
Okay.
And again, he gets a little whisper in his ear. Captain, stand by for a moment. And here's his little conversation. And then he steps back over here. He goes, that is a mighty impressive vessel. And he looks down at his little space Apple computer. He looks at it. That is a large vessel. I'm deeply impressed. Was the last vessel that came here, was it as big as that one?
The Enterprise? She was the best of the fleet at that time. The Hathaway is brand new.
Yes, I remember. I was there when the last time the ship was here, or the Enterprise, as you called it, was here. Took out several of our people on almost a city block range. It was disconcerting. So, is that ship older than yours?
Well, 19 years have passed, yes.
Okay. Interesting. So, where would you like to meet? Well, you know what? How about this? We'll just have you come to my office. You can use that transporter thing, I think you said. And you can come down here and we'll have a conversation in this office.
All right.
Is there anything else you would like before you come down for me to set up?
If you could just have the sample ready for when I come down for my scientist to examine.
Okay. And how long will your arrival take?
I will be down there in 1 hour.
Very well. Look forward to it.
As do I.
And communications cap. There we go. Okay, so with that, let me do something here real quick just for poops and giggles. So that's like right there. That's like right there. So who you want to take with you, Captain?
Let's take the whole gang.
You want to take the whole gang? Wow.
I love the gang.
The gang.
I might need a little alterations before I go down.
Well, they according to the report, they did not react to Spock's physiological differences 19 years ago, except to point out that his ears were pointy. They did not react with fear or anything. I was not planning on covering up my spots. Doctor, if it makes it more comfortable, you can camouflage yourself, but we're not in a situation where we are trying to hide who we are.
As you wish, Captain.
Okay. So you prepare to transport down. And let's go to the transporter room. Here we go.
And we're going to raise shields again as soon as we've transported.
Okay. Which is a good call, seeing that your sensors just detected 4 more ships leaving the space station.
Wow, they are might curious.
Okay. So, oops, wrong window. So let's get your crew together here. So, Captain, go ahead and place your characters on the screen in preparation for departure. Okay, and please put them in the order that you would like them to transport in.
Captain, you wanted me to stay back, considering that we have all those new ships coming at us?
Yeah, I want you to stand by with the spear. That's a good idea, Exo. Mr. Etrigan, if you would beam down first to do a security sweep.
Someone remind me how I can place my character
Roger.
on the screen again.
Grab your
Grab the name.
face.
The name handle. I can see him right now going, it's not working.
It's not working.
But see, that doesn't work. I try grabbing my
name.
face.
No,
and nothing.
it's I grab my face. Like I go to the bioinfo tab, I click on my token and I drag it on there.
Oh, from your character info page. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to do from the bottom of the screen.
That would do it.
No,
Wait, can
I can't do it from either place, actually.
Grab the name on
See,
the
Yeah,
tab.
if I grab the name from the bottom of the screen, I
Nope.
see my name.
No.
Like
From
what?
the tab.
From the character
Yeah.
tabs.
Ah,
I grabbed mine
okay.
from the journal, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's obnoxious that if you drag from the bottom of the screen, it shows you dragging your name, but then nothing happens.
Oh,
It's a
sorry,
tease.
I just tried the dragging my name because I haven't been doing that. So there was an extra captain there for a second.
okay, so Etrigan's going down first. Okay. And is that true?
Yes, I'm going to go down first, and I will do a full security sweep, including a tricorder scan.
Okay.
Yeah, we're armed.
Oh,
We've
I'm
got-
always armed.
Good.
We've got discrete phasers.
Good to know. Discrete phasers.
Discrete. That's
Very
boring.
well. So the hidden ones.
That's
Not-
boring.
Okay. So there you guys are. Or there Etrigan. So this is what he beams into.
Who's the other guy?
Okay. So
Oh,
that's
there's 2 other guys.
I'm going to scan for weapons, shields, cameras,
oh
other
you
people.
oh yes. So your scan picks up everybody in this room's armed. And you detect 2 guards on the outside, which it's a president's office, so I wouldn't be super suspicious of 2 guys standing outside his door. But everybody in this thing is armed. There's no ands, ifs, or buts.
I am going to transmit that information to the ship.
Okay. So,
I'm not surprised that they are all armed, but I'm interested to know whether it's projectile weapons or energy weapons.
interesting. He's going to do a sensor scan for that. He's going to have to do a scan. He's going to have to do a roll for that. And the roll is going to be, let me see. So, control and science. And it's not going to be super hard. It's only going to be one success. It's not difficult. But there's no support on this. So roll good. Because you're the only person there right now.
That was not good.
It was kind of the opposite.
Yeah, that was the opposite of rolling good.
So you detect, you were successful. There's only one success. So you detect that they are kinetic weapons. They're not laser weapons or energy weapons. They're kinetic weapons. But they are a lot more stout than the previous kinetic weapons that you had initially read in the briefing. You're used to Tommy guns and stuff like that. These kinetic weapons are like what you can detect is basically they're stronger. They're more powerful. And for the negative effect is are you hiding this tricorder? Is this tricorder in the open? Are you discreetly scanning or are you overtly scanning?
Discreetly.
Okay. Because you're discreetly scanning, your negative effect is they straight look at you and go, "Are you concerned with our weapons?"
And I look right at the president and go, "A little bit. That's my job."
Are these like handguns or are they rifles? Are they the standard P90 rifles that are
No.
mounted on every sci-fi show ever?
Nope. These are concealed. I mean, if you look at them, you can't tell. Okay. They are not overt, standing there with straight up like armed rifles. They are concealable handguns, but they are beefy concealable handguns. That's what the sensor shows you. And with that, this guy goes over there and he proceeds to pat you down. Do you resist?
No.
Okay. So we're going to old school this shit again. I mean, oops, this stuff again. I got to keep remember my own rules. So he is distracted because you are not human, right? You're in a Frosian mix, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, that's why. So the last people they saw were humans and basically humans with pointed ears. They did not see any kind of other race. And you got to understand, you were the only people they've ever met that weren't from their planet. So your appearance is quite distracting to the point that he completely misses your weapon.
Fantastic.
And he steps back and he looks and he goes, "Boss, as far as I can tell, he's not armed." And okay, Johnny, you gotta be sure. He goes, "No, boss, I checked him. He's good." So, but what he does find is your scanner. So the question I ask you is, do you resist him from taking the scanner?
No.
Okay. So he takes the scanner and he places it on the desk. They don't take it, run out the room. They just put it on the desk. Okay. So that's the situation. What do you do? You call the captain, tell her it's good to go. What do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna contact the captain and let her know. 4 male subjects, all armed, concealed weapon.
Okay.
2 guards outside the door, and
Okay.
they've taken an interest in my tricorder.
Okay. And Captain, do you have concealed weapons or overt weapons?
We have concealed weapons.
Okay. So who's next to transport down? Or are you rest of you coming in as a group?
I think the next should be me and Mr. Tral, and then we can hit him with the shock value of Commander Tahl and Dr. Xhad.
Ta-da!
Okay. Oh, that's why. So I'm an idiot. I'm sitting here trying to drag your tokens across 2 windows, and it's not working. I was going, why is this thing broken? Now I know it's my idiot operation. Okay. So I am... Okay. So what we do is, while they're transporting down, that's when we're going to go to break. And I'm going to play our break music. I'm going to mute everybody else out. So we'll be back in about 13 minutes.
It would be really cool if our break music was 5-year missions, a piece of the action.
Oh, it is 5-year
that would be
mission.
Awesome.
Wait, it is 5-year mission, but I didn't tell management what episode we were doing, so I don't think he included it.
Oh no.
So we'll be back.
Okay.
oblivion with you. Oh, I don't mind. I don't mind. Oblivion with you. I don't mind. I don't mind. Oblivion with you. She's a pseudo-Nazi. She's a pseudo-Nazi. She's a pseudo-Nazi. People, hear me. We're on the brink of disaster, and it's time to stop the bloodshed and bury the dead. Let the killing end.
Hey, welcome back. And we are going to get back into the game. So, I believe you said that the captain and Mr. Tral would be the first to come down.
Yes.
Okay. So, you transport down and you see this. Oh, you see this gentleman right here. He walks over and he goes ahead and searches for weapons. Oh, he is just terrible at it. He doesn't even come close. He's patting your shoulders. He's like checking your spots, trying to figure out what's going on. Didn't find your weapon. Walks over here. This time he does find your weapon, Captain. Do you resist?
Okay. Yes, they're armed. Why shouldn't I be too?
Okay. So you are doing a contested roll. You do not want him to take your weapon, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. So the question would be, our weapons officer, is he with us? Mr. Muted Weapons Officer? Okay. So we'll do a roll. What I want you to do is we're going to do a contested roll. This is going to be a fitness security.
Really, fitness?
Yes, because you have to use strength.
I'm not going to intimidate him with my intimidating presence?
Ooh, okay. You can. What would you say to him to stop what he was doing?
To get his hands off of me because I'm the captain, I'm a guest, and he's just as armed as I am.
Okay.
I also have focuses in both diplomacy and persuasion.
Okay. So I want you to go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll for that.
Okay.
And again, it's going to be a contested. It's willpower. So this is. So you're going to roll presence
Yep.
and security.
And I'm going to use one momentum.
Okay. Oh.
Back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Back.
So what you see, weapons officer, is your captain got frisked for a weapon. He did find the weapon, and now she is trying to persuade him to stop. What is your action? Do you do anything to interfere, or you just have her hold her own against him?
So long as it doesn't look like she's coming to harm and she doesn't give me the signal to take him out,
Okay,
I'm going to stand aside.
that works. So,
What's-
go ahead.
What's the signal?
I'll know.
Okay.
Slappy, slappy.
So, he not only does he you rebuke him, he basically stumbles backwards and almost falls over the desk in just surprise to see. You remember, these are, for the most part, yeah, they are more rolled forward than, the 1930s, but not too far. So to have a woman, female, to be so strong kind of throws him back a little bit, and he just kind of looks at the boss, President Krakow, and he just kind of gives him a slight nod, just like, yeah, let it go. And he just kind of walks back over here. Captain, that's a courtesy. I think we won't have a problem with all of us being armed in here. We're adult enough to handle that, right?
Yes, we merely sought to follow your cultural norms.
Understandable. You got to excuse my security. They're particularly protective.
It's all right. The young ones are so hard to train.
I like your attitude.
Do we get momentum back because I kicked his butt?
No, because it was a contested. So
Okay.
no.
And I think it's ready for Grok and Doc to come down.
Okay, so with that, Doctor and the Doctor. Oh, there she is. Okay, the doctor comes down. Okay. Sorry, I'm expanding your icon. And then
Big
the
doctor.
engineer.
I put myself down
Oh,
already.
okay. Go ahead. Just expand yours out to 4 squares. Grab your
It
cursor.
won't let me expand.
Okay, I'll take care of it then. There we go.
Thank
Now,
you.
this is the first time. I mean, you transported down, so it's a little hard to see what everybody else is looking at. You gotta understand that Krakow and Teppo, the older guy with the bowler hat on the left, they were both there with the original contact by the Enterprise. The other two are still kind of mesmerized because this is the first time they've seen this happen in action. The first occurrence of it the last couple times. So they're got a weird look about them and kind of amazed and slightly intimidated, especially now that we have a non-human appearing coming down. I mean, Etrigan is humanoid and he's very similar in human appearance. However, the doctor and the engineer are nowhere near that. So they're kind of like trepidation kind of thing. Like, wow, okay, so that just happened.
Grok just tries to look even more intimidating. He bares his tusks and kind of like smiles.
Doc
And
does the opposite to look less intimidating.
okay, so Teppo steps up and moves to the side, and they slide over. I mean, you asked for samples for everything they had, right? You weren't very specific.
Yeah, I asked for a sample of everything on the list.
So he kind of pushes a little button under next to his on the side of his desk, and another henchman-looking guy comes up and he brings in a box. And by a box, I don't mean like, look at me, I'm carrying a box. I mean like he's rolling it in on a cart, and it's the size of pretty much a coffin.
Okay, that's a big
Okay.
box.
I mean, it's a good size one. And Captain, your samples as you requested.
Thank you very much, President. Mr. Tahl, if you could please do a cursory analysis to make sure all of these materials are safe for transport.
Will do, Captain. I pull out a tricorder.
Okay, go ahead and give me a control science, and it's just one.
Could I use my manufacturing background to help identify the materials in the box?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Sure.
It's a box.
So you attempt to do the scan, and for some reason the box that's they brought in is being surprisingly resistant to your scans. You really can't tell what type of material's in there.
Mr. Tahl, could you please open the box?
I approach the box and is there a way for me to check for traps?
Interesting. Sure. You're doing a reason engineering. And again, one success.
I'm going to use momentum this time.
Okay.
I could assist him.
Good
I've got
idea.
combat demolitions experience.
Okay. So you will
This
roll
time-
one die.
This time, let's see. Should I use my manufacturing or yeah? How you try to use my manufacturing focus once again?
Because for opening the box, yeah, we won't fly on that one. Yeah, that's going to be
Okay.
a straight roll unless you got something else.
Transporters, replicators. I can maybe see if there's anything that may affect transporters. I don't know. That's a stretch.
No, nope. Give me a straight roll, and then again, that's a. Jeez.
Oh my goodness. Come on, can we not open boxes?
I did get 2 successes, but I did get a crit.
Hey, it can be
fail.
hard sometimes.
Alien boxes.
And Weps, give us a roll.
What do I need to roll here?
You're doing. I gave you reason engineering, right?
You just told me it was going to be 1 die.
Yeah, it's gonna be 1 die of reason engineering, an assist.
Okay. My combat demolitions an
Yes.
applicable focus.
Yep.
I don't want you to blow up the box.
Okay, so as far as you guys open the box, or start working the latches, you're checking for little trips, you're looking for little switches, you're looking for anything you can see that would look out of ordinary. For the most part, the box is basically, imagine a coffin size metallic box, like the hard shell boxes, waterproof hard shell boxes we have in our world. Imagine it's just substantially larger, and there is nothing that's going to cause an issue, except of course when the engineer gets a little frustrated because it's not a straight simple switch, or I'm sorry, straight switch, straight. What is that noise? A straight little latch. He actually snaps off one of the latches, and they all kind of just look. And by accident, he intimidates everybody by the strength he used to break off this latch, because this latch is a pretty hefty latch. I mean, they're moving around precious material. This is not light stuff. And he just snaps it off. And he's like,
I smile nervously once again, showing off my tusks, which it doesn't help with the which helps with the intimidation.
So we're going to say the box is over here, and then you just see everybody visually kind of shift this way. To the point that the president kind of leans sideways in his chair away from her, like, holy, The box comes open, and from what you can see, it looks like a box full of pretty straight material. There's nothing elaborate from your initial inspection.
Okay, since this box does not look like an elaborate plan to take over our ship, I'm going to order Mr. Tahl to take it back up to the ship to give a deeper analysis on the crystals.
Yes, Captain.
Okay, so engineer and the box are going to go back to the ship.
Yes, and then shields are going to go up after transportation is complete again.
Okay. So the box...
Did you just say transportation?
If I did, I didn't mean to.
Before Grok beams out, he does the little "I'm watching you" hand signal to each of them.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. And he transports out with the box, and everybody kind of goes back to their original positions. And surprisingly, the tension is released. There's a drop in tension as the now strange to these people person snapped off one of their hardest metals in the process of just looking at a box. So
yeah, that's how we do it in Starfleet.
So, Captain, welcome to Iosha.
Thank you again, President Krakow. Let me introduce my crew. This is Mr. Etrigan, Dr. Xhad, and Mr. Tral.
Nice to meet you all.
Pleasure to meet you.
Just out of curiosity, how many people does your ship hold?
As many as it needs to.
Good
Uh,
answer.
Nice. Good. So, how would you like to transport your cut?
We'll see. I have my scientists are examining the samples you gave, and once I have a report from them, I'll be able to tell you what we want to do with our cut.
Okay. So, we are going to go.
Treasure room.
We're not pirates.
Sorry, I'm sliding this thing around trying to find us our engineering space. Why am I having a problem? There it is. Okay, so we're going to slide over here. Take a pause for the crew on the ground. We're going to put our engineer.
And hey, if the XO's bored, I guess he could help too.
Yeah, just keeping that shuttle seat warm, but I'll go to the engineering.
Okay. So, you bring the box into the space and crack it open. Or, well, let's put it this way. You bring the box into space. What do you want to do with it, engineer?
I'm assuming it's already open. I didn't.
Well, I
close it
mean,
up again.
Well, you close you close it after your inspection, but yeah, the top is the locks. There's no locks on it. You've already worked the mechanism to open it up easily. The seal's been broken on it, but obviously you closed it when you transported it. So it's a closed box, a loosely closed box in your engineering space.
Okay, I'm going to gently remove one of the crystals from the box, and I am going to take it over to one of the consoles and then try to run a full analysis on it.
Okay. So what you do your full scan. Okay, so let's do an insight science. Okay. Let's do an insight science. And because of the material, I'm going to make it 2 successes. And the ship will assist.
But you can assist too, XO.
Yes, Captain.
With some of my experiences with does it look like it could be some variant of dilithium crystal? If so, could I apply my warp field dynamics or warp engines to it?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm gonna go ahead and use another momentum.
Okay. Go ahead and pull strip off.
Damn.
And what would you like the ship to roll?
The ship is going to roll to assist him. It is going to be a sensors and science. And then if the XO is going to assist, it's going to be insight science also.
Yeah, XO better assist.
Ooh. Ooh, the science of 1.
High five.
Clutch.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
that's why I thought that the be a better ship would help, but hey.
well, if you look at the numbers, you're just as good as the ship is. So,
True.
You could also say he's just as bad as the ship is.
Or that too.
Thanks for putting that way.
So, what you discover is that the crystal alignment is very, very similar to dilithium crystals. And that with some kind of what you can't tell right now, because I mean you're not a experimental scientist, is that the ship has extrapolated that with some kind of enrichment process or alteration process at the molecular level, you could get an extra 10% more efficiency out of these crystals than the current ones that you're using from the mining, the location your current ones were mined from.
Ooh.
Intriguing.
Hot damn.
Are you seeing these results, Commander?
I am. That's actually really interesting. You think we can use it already? We could put that on the shuttle.
I would advise against it at this time. Unless you
You're no
do
fun.
like pyrotech. Unless you like pyrotechnics.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. Goes well with the bumper sticker.
What bumper sticker?
You're not there.
I know. I'm everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
Eyes everywhere.
And for canon purposes, this is one of the reasons my thought process is this is one of the reasons could be why warp engines were higher sustainable in the TNG era.
Ooh.
That's why we don't need no four nacelles on most ships in TNG era. So
Four nacelles are stupid. Sorry.
Stop pooping on our ship.
I was about to say, where's that Miranda? I think there's a Miranda sitting around someplace.
Do I get demoted to an Oberth class now? That's going to be great.
Oh God, no.
Ooh, it is around this era, isn't it? Oh yeah. So
I respectfully decline from serving on an Oberth class ship.
so noted. So do you pass this information to the captain?
Yes, we do.
Okay, overtly or covertly? Do you ask her to step outside? Do you just blur it? How do you inform
Well,
her?
Considering that there's a bunch of gangsters down there, so yeah, I'll ask her to step outside.
Okay.
Captain?
So hold on a second here. Yeah, hold on. Give me a moment here. I only can work so fast with this interface. It's a little. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay.
Captain, can you hear me? This is Tretner.
Yes, Commander.
I have some interesting information for you. Are you alone?
No, I'm not. Do you want to go ahead and just send your results to my tricorder?
Will do, Captain. Sending it your way right now.
All right.
Okay, Captain. With this information,
That's some very interesting information, Commander. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm going to go now and have some fun with Grok.
Not too much fun, I hope.
Whoa.
Unicorns.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, unicorns.
so Captain, is there
Yes.
something particular that you like in your cut?
We were just examining a couple of the interesting things that you have from your planet that we do not have on our Federation worlds.
Interesting.
Your oils are very unique. Also, those crystals.
There was several crystals in there. You have to be more specific. And just to give you information, it's a off green crystal
Okay.
with like a marbling of pink inside of it.
I believe the greenish and pink crystals caught my engineer's attention.
Interesting. Well, we have several locations that we can pull it off this planet. They're not tremendously abundant, but we could always make a deal. We don't particularly have any use for them. However, if you're interested in them, maybe I need to keep them.
I think we can. I think we can come to some sort of arrangement. We can renegotiate our cut. We would be very interested in seeing your society progress further and perhaps investing some of our cut in your future.
Interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna flip up to the space model real quick. So you said you opened the box on the ship, yes? To pull the materials out.
Do
It's
not-
open, yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. So now the shuttles start moving in closer. And these are progressing. Okay.
Grok, did you miss something in the box?
So you get a report, XO, that the shuttles, the spaceships, are moving closer. Now, do you want to do anything with the ship's operation with this information?
I would like whoever's on helm. I would tell him to start moving away from the ships
Mhm.
at slow speeds.
Mm-hmm.
Also, would at the same time alert the fighter pilots to go down and get the jets, get the shuttles ready,
Okay.
and also open hailing frequencies to the shuttle, and let them know that they need to back off.
Okay.
And
So-
perhaps I should let the captain know.
Okay.
Perhaps.
So while you're preparing, while all that's happening, you are detecting transmissions from the shuttle, or I keep saying shuttles, the spaceships, that some kind of the Hathaway determines like a fire control radar has been used to lock on the ship.
Well, that's just great. Okay, in that case, red alert.
Oh, okay. So the ship goes
I
into
don't like my ship getting painted, and it's my ship right now because the captain's not here.
So, Captain, you are informed that there are shuttles, spaceships are approaching, and that the ship is getting painted by some kind of target lock.
President Krakow, it's starting to get a little crowded up there in orbit. This isn't a very welcoming committee that you've sent to see my ship.
Oh, Captain, you know, this is the only type of system we have to track your ship in orbit. We don't have these advanced systems that you have. We have to use painting technology where the scientists tell me we use this transmitting radar beam to lock onto your ship so we can keep track of where it's at. We didn't
My
know you were
understand-
up there until you transmitted to us.
My understanding is your ships are now in visual range. They don't need to paint my ship anymore.
Well, your ships are faster than ours are, so you could literally just fly away anytime you wanted. So, to keep track of where you're at, I have to use some technology.
Very well. Just understand, this is not a great action to take if you want to welcome visitors to your world.
Don't concern yourself with those. Compared to you, our ships are just bugs on the proverbial windshield. What are you concerned with?
I'm concerned with appearances. Actions are very important, Mr. President.
Understandable. I mean, all we want to do is just be friends and share. I share our material, our interesting materials, and you share cool ways that we could go out and explore the galaxy, don't you think?
Let's walk before we run.
Says the person that's already sprinting.
My people have spent millennia getting to the point. Don't worry. Exploring the galaxy will come to you all in good time, but you don't want to get there too quickly. We are not the only ones out there. And not everyone is as friendly or welcoming as the Federation.
We're friendly people. We can compensate for that. It's fine.
Not everyone is friendly. You did mention earlier when I talked about Bella that your medical technology has not advanced as much as you would like based on the translator McCoy left. We would like to help you with that. We would like to help you take care of your people better.
Now you're talking. This is my kind of thing. Anything
Good.
to assist my people.
I'm glad we can work along that lines. Dr. Xhad has several medical advancements that she can share with your doctors that they can build on to help improve the quality of care on your planet. And we can use we would like to cover the cost of that with part of our cut. We'd like to reinvest it in your people.
At this moment, Teppo, the guy next to him, says, "Wait a minute. You want to reinvest with the material we're giving you, or with your cut?"
Yes, we see potential, and we'd like to invest in your future.
And with that, Krakow says, "No, you don't understand. We cannot change this deal. We cannot. This deal cannot be changed. The
I'm not
act.
changed?
What I mean is, giving back us what we've already given is not acceptable.
Once you've given it to us, it is ours to do with what we wish."
You misunderstand. The act of creating and bringing our people together to present you your cut is what establishes our society. If you give us back what we've already got, or if you give us back the stuff our society has worked to give you, it basically nulls the organization we have created. It turns into anarchy.
Very well. Then we will hold it in trust and offer you medical assistance anyway.
This would be acceptable. And then Teppo looks at him and starts giving him a weird look, and it's very frustrating. And he walks out. And go ahead.
Dr. Xhad, would you like to return to the ship to prepare an inventory of what we can offer these people?
Yes, I'll gather up a med kit for them.
All right.
Okay, so the doctor goes up to the ship too.
Yes, and of course, after she beams up, shields back up.
Okay, so you contact the ship, and the XO transports her up. Krakow's going, "Captain, almost half your visitors are gone. It feels like I'm not being a good host."
Oh, don't worry, they'll be back.
Okay.
They just have work to do.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip back to the ship. So okay, XO, I want you to give me a role. I want you to your character. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna negate that. I want you to roll for the ship. And I want you to give me a comms and security roll. And this is because you only have one die. I'm only going to make it one success. This is a true false, whether your ship receives it or your ship doesn't receive it.
Any focuses?
Your ship always has a focus.
Right. Womp womp.
Okay. So, good to know. Okay. Now, I want you to move the ship 3 squares. Any place 3 attached squares. Any direction you want to go. Since you're in charge of moving it around, or you're in charge of driving it, that's where it needs to. You get to make the call. 3 squares.
For clarification, does the space continue to the right of the planet, or am I kind of stuck back?
No, it would. It will. I can just move the planet and realign everything.
Perfect. Just wanted to know.
Yeah, no, it's space. You're not restricted to the edge there. Okay. Well, these ships aren't nowhere near as fast as you are, so there we go. Okay. Back to the ground. Okay. So, Captain, I have a dinner set up for us to go ahead and have. And while he says that, he sees his assistant there walk up to him again, whisper something into his ear, and kind of gives him a sideways look. What? Seriously? This can't be. And he tells him, go find him. And he leaves the room immediately. Captain, you need to go back to your ship immediately.
Oh yes, Mr. President. What's happening?
I'm not sure. All I can say is I no longer control those shuttles or those spaceships.
Those shuttles that you just called mosquitoes compared to mine. What aren't you telling me?
I can tell you that they are armed. But I'm not sure that I have control of all of them.
Armed with what? Something that can actually damage my ship?
I don't know. I don't know how strong your ship is. You're only the second. You're only the third ship's ever been here. This is only the first one I've seen in person. I have no idea how capable your ship is. All I can tell you is my ships are armed.
With what kind of weapon?
A explosive kinetic.
All right. And who's in control of them?
This is an internal matter. It's irrelevant. I could just tell you that we may have an issue with these ships.
If I take action against these ships, will you consider it an act of war, or are you giving me free rein?
All I can tell you is these ships shoot at you. They are no friends of mine.
All right. Captain Kell to the Hathaway. Command Commander.
Hathaway here.
Those ships coming in are unfriendlies.
The tingling in my gut was correct, I guess, after all.
It is. You should always trust that gut of yours. They're no longer under the control of President Krakow. You have permission to respond with force if they attack. They're armed with kinetic explosive weapons. Our shields, you should be able to handle that, but disable their engines if they make any attacks.
First response, or do we get to respond? Do we let them take the first?
No preemptive strikes.
Yes, Captain.
Unless their weapons have more effect on our ship than we expect.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I mean, no. If they fire on us and cause damage, disable all of them immediately.
You got it. Permission to scramble the shuttles.
Permission granted.
Hooray! Thanks, Captain.
Nice.
Have fun.
I always do.
And don't get any scratches on my ship.
We'll try to keep him away from the ship.
Thank you, Commander. Captain Kell out. President Krakow. I think my first officer has things well in hand.
At that moment, what you hear outside is an explosion. It's not close, but it's not far. I'd say the equivalent of about 4 or 5 blocks. And at the same time, you hear yelling and a weird thumping noise. You're not sure what the thumping noise is, but at the same time, a hole about the size of a fist just gets punched through the wall. and hits the back wall by Krakow.
Okay, draw phasers, set to stun.
And he looks, he goes, "No, please, just leave. I got to take care of this. I don't need you to worry about you and myself at the same time. You're probably better shape to be on your ship than to be down here handling the situation that I've just been informed about."
President Krakow, we cannot return to our ship without endangering it. We will stay here with you.
If that's what you want, Captain. And what you're hearing is what you've learned to be basically a civil war outside.
Fun.
And with that, we are going to close this session.
What? What?
Seriously? That's not a space battle?
All right, you gotta
The
prove that
firefighters?
to be continued music at the end of this video.
Yeah, that would.